Game on the line. Williams lofting one for a deuce. He caught
it! You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Project, where this is the last episode of 2025 that you will see of the teams that are put together right now because of the trade deadline. There will be some shakeups. There will be some drama. There will be some, oh my God, there's going to be some, why'd they do that? We're all for it, and that's what we're here to do and talk about today. Guys, Ben has a camera. We debuted some of that on College Corner, so go and please check that out. The boys are putting in a lot of work to make sure that you guys get your college content. But as for today, we've got a lot more stuff coming. But first, Matt, how are we doing?
Oh, wait.
Camera?
There we go.
There it is.
Sorry.
Grand entrance.
There it is.
Yep. All right. I'm doing good. Excited to talk trade deadline. You never know. It's like a mystery box. Could be a boat. But, I mean, we'll talk about some trades today. You guys probably are definitely more creative with some trades than I am, but we'll get into that.
Very, very chalk trades from my end. Again, we will get into the trades. Very, very chalk in terms of players discussed. But again, excited, doing good. Don't have to eat a crayon. Excited about that. I'm happy I don't have to break this puppy in my new camera by eating a crayon. So
I think he cursed Cam Scattaboo. I think that's what happened.
we'll
Giants
carry
fans,
on.
this is the guy that you can blame for your downside.
Whoa. Don't put that evil on me. Don't put that evil on me. But no, excited to get into it. But
yeah,
Ryan, we haven't asked about you. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm chilling. We've got a lot going on, and I'm excited to dive into it. Matt, can you explain what we have going on this week?
What we have going on this week?
What's going on?
Yes, the rundown. We'll talk about any looming Monday Night Football thoughts. I don't expect that to be too extreme because of the way that game figured out. Some injury report. I only have like 2 things to talk about. I don't think there was any outside of these 2 injuries and 2 players returning to practice this week. I don't think there's anything major. And then we'll get into some trade deadline fan fiction. That's what I'm calling it. It's like the male fan fiction, the NFL trade deadline, and mock drafts. So we'll get into that. And then this week we only have 2 games of the week. We have the Broncos and Texans, the Chiefs and Bills, and then obviously Thursday Night Football. And then we'll pick some games, we'll make some bets, and then we'll likely get out of here. So I'll swing it right into Monday Night Football. The Chiefs dominate the Commanders without Jaden Daniels. That's the biggest headline, 28-7. It was kind of close for a little bit there. There were some weird interceptions. Marshawn Lattimore caught an interception. But for the most part, the Chiefs ran away with this one. Does anybody have anything to hit on with this one before we kind of move on with the rest of the show?
No, I don't think there's much in terms of this game. Like, wow, the Commanders with Marcus Mariota lost to the Chiefs. Again, it was a little shocking with how bad kind of Patrick Mahomes looked in the entirety of the first half. Mm-hmm. But then he came out of the tunnel and he was like, oh, wait, I'm one of the best quarterbacks to ever play football. Let me remember that fact. And then they just took over the game from there. Really, the big thing from this game is something I'm sure we'll get into here in a moment. For me, it's just Terry. Like, it was his first game back, and now he is immediately hurt again and is going to miss at least 1 week, maybe even more from there. So, but that's really all I have. This game is exactly how I would have thought it was going to play out.
I do want to mention Jaden, I believe, practiced in full today. So we anticipate him to come back in this week's matchup. But that's kind of the bummer, right? You want these two to play. That's the entire reason why the NFL put this game on primetime is to get Jaden against Patrick. And, unfortunately, that's not what played out. I didn't pay too much attention to this one. I kind of took the day off and, sat and hung out with the girlfriend. And, I had work that day too. So I didn't really plan on, watching Chiefs football more than I have to. But, overall, I don't think that, what happened was out of the ordinary. If you look at what we all predicted, it was the Chiefs to win this past week. So, nothing too crazy on this one. But yeah, what else we got? Matt, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, this game, the Commanders really went for it with 2 turnover on downs. What was it in the first half, like in Chiefs territory? So I mean, obviously that's Dan Quinn saying we need touchdowns with a backup quarterback, and they just couldn't get it done. That was kind of the whole sense of it all. But the biggest thing for me was the Chiefs were able to run the ball in this one. They averaged what was it, almost 5 yards a carry. They had not done that this season. So for them to be able to run the ball, and then Bobby Wagner, brother, it's time, buddy. That I know he gets the interception off the Travis Kelce like tip ball, which it's Travis Kelce also. It's time. But for the most part, Bobby Wagner was manipulated in coverage so many times throughout this game with little, shallow beaters by, I think it was like at one time they attacked him with Juju, they attacked him with Worthy, and then they ran Rice. They ran him off Rice, which they got Kelce in behind him on one drive. So, yeah, Bobby Wagner, it's time, brother. But that's it for the Monday Night Football thoughts. Then we get into injury report. If you guys have anything to add, let me know. But I only had 3. The Cam Scatabo injury was, he had surgery pretty immediately, which turns out that was more serious than, even on the field told us with some of the wounds or something like that. They had to close up a wound. And Pat Surtain is going to IR. He left the game against the Cowboys. He came back with like a shin injury and then hurt his shoulder, and that's what he's going to IR with. Which they have a bye week in between, so I think that only means he could miss 3 games. And then, Bryce Young and Jaden Daniels are full practicers this week. Who knows? Baltimore said that too. But for the most part, practicing on Wednesday in full kind of leads you to believe both of these guys are going to be back. But, gentlemen, were there any...
Y'all called me a madman with the Lamar stuff. I feel great.
Y'all, whoa! Don't let me in there.
I have to have my little parade about this, right? I have to victory lap this. Pretty good. Called it. Still got killed, but called it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if there's much to be celebrating about the Bears and Ravens game there, buddy.
I'm taking something from this. Jeez.
And this week he said he wasn't going to mention the Bears. I mean, were there any other injuries of note? I know the Bears receiving core is decimated. I saw that today.
For now. Yeah. I wasn't even going to mention that. Yeah. Outside of that, Joe Flacco, questionable. We might get more Jake Browning. Who knows? But something to maybe monitor, considering he's old. Like, Grandpa might need to take a back seat this week. I don't know.
That's
something to note.
That's really what I think. I just think he's old. Like, I know, like, that's like bad, but like he's just old. Like, I don't actually think it's anything to like worry too much about. He's just like an old guy who needs a lot of rest away from his children and wife, but rest regardless. So
Yeah, I also want to. Laramie Tunsil left the game against the Chiefs, so with a hamstring injury, so that makes me believe he's not going to play. But that's all for the injury report. I think it's time to get into the trade deadline fan fiction. How do we want to start this?
Well, I think a great place to kind of start this is to talk about the two trades that had that got made over like the last like 2 or 3 days.
No, three.
Three trades. Okay. Well, I can only think of two. I'm definitely missing one. Keon White ends up getting traded to the Niners, and I think it was Keon White and a seventh for a 6th-round pick for the Niners. And kind of that same kind of swap within the Eagles. The Eagles trade for Michael Carter, the slot corner for the Jets. It was Michael Carter and a 2027 for John Mechie and a 2026. And then there's a third trade that I forgot about. Please take it away.
The Rams hoarding every corner under 6 feet tall. They traded for Roger McCreary, who's good, but
He's good.
He exclusively plays nickel, and Quentin Lake has been pretty good at nickel, so I'm interested to see how they kind of navigate that. I think that was just the Rams getting another corner because they need one, but I thought it was funny that it was another guy that is pretty short at corner, so they're just stockpiling them. And then what was it? Where did Kyle Duggar go? The Steelers, right?
The Steelers, yep.
I think they lost to Sean Elliott for the season.
Elliott,
yeah, that one. I mean,
it's just a couple margin moves. Funny that again it was the Patriots with both Duggar and Keon White. No, like crazy splashes, and like it would be funny because it feels like we always hype ourselves up for the trade deadline, and then you just have years where it's Kyle Duggar, Keon White, Michael Carter, and Roger McCreary. And I'm wondering if this might be kind of that year.
Someone made note of like we'll get into the trades, but like the Patriots rebuild since Elliott Wolf got there, they suck at drafting, but they got the quarterback right. And they filled some like little holes with free agency. Like it's one of the weirdest rebuilds I had ever seen. Like this should never work in year one, but hey, here they are, 6-2. So that's kind of what happens sometimes. But does anybody want to kick it off with a trade?
Yeah, I mean, I have a boatload of trades that I think are worthwhile. This was kind of my idea, so I'll steer the ship a little bit. I think I think it's best to kind of all of us to take turns, talk about different trades we had in mind, and then maybe toss in a couple guys who are like, oh, do we think they might get traded? You know, is Trey Hendricks going to get traded? But I'll kick it off. Where else would I start? Anywhere else but Matt's team here. We have heard a whole lot of clamoring about a certain Saints wide receiver getting traded at the trade deadline. Saints fans want it. Other fans want it. That being said, it's not the wide receiver you think. I would be shocked if Rashid Shaheed is still on this team come deadline, considering that he's on the last year of his contract. So what I am proposing, and you tell me if you would take this, Matt. I think the Bucks of all teams, they're kind of a team that gets left out, but they have so many injuries and just could use bodies, live breathing bodies in this room. I propose the Bucks trade for Rashid Shaheed and the Saints. You get a 5th-round pick in return. It's not a whole lot, but he's not a star wide receiver, and he is on the last year of his contract. It's not like he has many years left. Do you think that is fair value for Rashid Shaheed?
No.
What do you want from him?
I think that you're going to have a bidder that's going to give you more than a 5th-round pick.
Well, because you have to think about you have to think about the compensatory value too. Like if you think he's going to hit open market and someone's going to pay him good money and Pickens gets tagged, he's the number one receiver on the market, right? So why wouldn't you want him to be on the roster through the end of the season when you're trying to figure out what Tyler Shuck is? So
So you get because you get the picks now in a rebuilding year, and I think that's kind of the mindset. I think that's the comp formula in all trade talks is just going to be like that, really just weird, because we kind of saw the same thing with Dante Johnson like last year, and we're like, whoa. Let's say the Bucks offered you a 4th round pick. Let's say it's Rashid Shaheed for a 4th round pick for the Bucks. They get a warm body that's actually good. I like that for both teams. The Saints get a pick now, 4th round pick. That's probably in the realm of what you would get for comp for him in the first place. And again, they actually finally get some warm bodies that people know the names of in this Bucks wide receiving room.
Would they pay him in this scenario? This would just be like a rental. Because, I mean, you think about, like, they have a Jalen McMillan who's kind of the very similar type, and they spent a 3rd round pick on him. He's just out this season.
I think it's probably more about, like, we see how Baker is playing. Let's try to see if we can make some sort of a splash, some sort of a push. We'll figure it out in the future. Like, if he clicks really well with Baker, we are open to re-signing him, but we're focused on winning now at this point. That's why we're willing to give up a 4th round pick in general for Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough because I don't know what accurate value is.
Exactly.
I'm gonna jump in here and say I'm the Denver Broncos, and I'm gonna give you that 4th round pick, and I want Shaheed, and I'll do a late round pick swap as well. So I'll do I'll give you a 7th if you give me a 6th as well. So call it a 4th and a 7th for Shaheed and a 6th.
Are we getting the 4th we traded away for Vele?
Yes.
I'd probably do it.
That's what I think would probably be the most comparable thing. And I think that that's a realistic trade partner too. The only other, there's 2 more teams in mind that I think could shell out like that. And it'd be the Patriots, who I think could be trading for another receiver that's disgruntled that I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yes.
And then the other team I think would be the 49ers. Mac Jones coming off, they need a little bit more offensive weapons, and they've got an easy enough schedule to where they can go ahead and make a playoff push. Maybe getting an extra body in that receiving room would kind of help out, especially with Ayuk being, out, and Juwan Jennings being up and down and in and out of the, injury report. That's kind of where my head's going. Obviously, you don't want McCaffrey to overexert himself by carrying this offense too much. You want to be able to spread the floor a little bit with that one, and especially when Brock Purdy comes back.
And don't forget about the Steelers too. Like, they're a team, like, whether us as fans and
they need to go after Jacoby Myers. That's what they need to do.
And believe me, we'll get there. But like, whether us as media or people who are talking think whether or not it's a smart idea for making a trade, that's a different thought process. There is a lot of clamor about them wanting to do it, regardless of whether or not we think it's a good move. So Steelers are obviously, I think Steelers are probably more than any other team are probably the front runners in terms of just trading for a wide receiver along with the Patriots. But I'll kick it over to you, Ryan. What is your next trade you want to offer on the table?
I'll throw Jacoby Myers out there, just because, I mean, obviously he's already put out that trade request, and I mean, it's well known. I'm sure that the Raiders don't necessarily want to get rid of him, but I'm sure that there's going to be a team like we talked about that could be making a move for him. And the Patriots are the one that are just glaring to me, just because a reunion would kind of make sense. Again, like, you want your quarterback to have a little bit stronger of a weapon, and I think that he kind of blends in with that receiver room well. So that's kind of where my mind's at. And then as far as his contract as well, that's what I'd like to look up here. He signed a 3-year deal, so he'll be a free agent, I believe, next season. Yes. So He's got a $14 million cap hit. It's not going to be that much, so obviously it's going to be a rental. I'm going to say Jakobi Meyers to the Patriots for I'll say Jakobi Meyers in a 6 for a 5th, something like that.
No, there's no way Rashid Shaheed goes for a 4th and Jakobi Meyers goes for that. The clamorings out there are that they want a day 2 pick. For like Raiders brass wants a day 2 pick. I don't know if you're getting a day 2 pick for Jakobi.
I don't think you're going to get that.
Sure. Give me
here's
a day
the
2. I
thing.
would love a day 2 pick. I don't know if they're going to get a day 2 pick.
Yeah, I agree. And let me tell you why I like, Shaheed more than I do Meyers in this situation. Meyers has already expressed interest in leaving Vegas, whereas Shaheed necessarily they could just keep Shaheed and continue developing their quarterbacks with the weapons that they have. Like it's the leverage thing is there. It's either, hey, you can take my draft pick now, or I'll just sign this guy in free agency because this guy does not want to stay with you, and you're not going to franchise tag him. Like,
I'm
that's
just hard
where
pressed
my
to think that
mind
there
goes.
just isn't a team out there that would offer more than a 5th round pick for Jakobi Meyers. Because again, there are a litany of teams at the deadline. Like even the Bills could go out and trade for a wide receiver, and I would just be shocked if the going rate for a guy like Jakobi Meyers is a 5th round pick. But again, I like where your head's at. I think the Patriots and Steelers are kind of the perfect landing spot for Jakobi Meyers in the situation that he gets moved, which is highly, highly likely. So, Matt.
Yeah, so I thought of this from one kind of lens and one lens only, thinking about how can Super Bowl teams kind of, figure out some holes that I have with them. So, of course, I'm going to start with the Packers, and this is just, everyone's going to point and laugh. I have them trading for Jaleel McLaughlin from the Broncos. He's played 1 snap this year. Like, what are we doing with that guy? Like, he's gotten 1 carry this year. I was thinking and watching with just overall with the Steelers game and how they mix in Emmanuel Wilson. It's just being able to have another level of ability with a guy like McLaughlin. You're able to get guys to the edge, like on sweep plays, things like that. It'll mix in more guys like Golden and how they get him involved and Savion Williams involved in the run game. Just getting another like different body type. I was just fascinated by. And this is a player that's just not playing. So literally the cheapest value he could possibly be is right this very second. So yeah, he was the first trade I've thought of, and I feel like that's on brand.
No, I think it's great on brand. And again, I think you're getting great value for him. Like you could probably get him for a 6th or 7th round pick, like a late pick at this point. Because again, he's just not getting touches anywhere. But yeah, no, I like it. In that same vein, Super Bowl contending teams trying to plug holes. This is kind of where it gets tough because I didn't know which edge rusher of there's a chance the Dolphins trade both edge rushers. But I'm going to go with Bradley Chubb in this one. And I think a perfect spot to slide him into is Indianapolis. They are struggling getting any pressure to the point that they have Ashton Doolin, the wide receiver, lining up at edge and taking edge snaps because that edge room looks so gosh darn bad. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being a Jalen Phillips. Obviously, I want Jalen Phillips. I'll take a 3rd, have him. But that's besides the point. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about plugging the holes for the Colts. And I think Bradley Chubb can accomplish that. The tricky thing for him is his contract, which kind of throws a wrench into what his trade value is. Because he's making like $31 million this year, next year. And does a team really want to take that on for how Bradley Chubb has played this year? That's where it gets rough. That being said, I'm going to send him on over to the Colts for a 4th round pick in return. Colts get a little bit better. and the Dolphins can get more picks in a year that is going to most likely be a rebuilding year. Don't get tricked by their most recent game. I'll tell you that.
I don't hate it. I don't. I think it's fun. The Colts are, the surprise team of the season. I think it's easy to say at this point, right?
Yep.
The holy cow, I didn't think they were going to be this good kind of thing, especially with Daniel Jones. So maybe try and capitalize on, the 1-year deal that you have with this guy that's playing extremely well, and hope that you can make a run. I mean, that's what you want to do in memory of Irsay, right? So, I like it. I don't think that it's too expensive in terms of actual, compensation that you're giving. And Chubb's a fun one. I think that for Miami fans, it would kind of hurt to let go of him, but that's the trade deadline, I guess.
It's time. It's time. I don't know what Miami's gonna do. I mean, they're just
They better
could do.
fire sale everything.
Well, do you think they talk themselves into some false prophecy with this recent performance against Atlanta?
I sure hope not, man. I sure hope not. Don't get tricked. That was awful. You guys are bad. You've been bad all year. Don't let one game against Atlanta and Kirk Cousins trick you from, getting trade value for guys in a year that it's gonna enter some dark ages here for the Dolphins.
Yeah. We'll see.
Your days are numbered, coach.
Yes.
What else we got?
Well, it's your turn. Do you have it?
Is it my turn? It's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's talk. I don't know. Tony Pollard pops up, and that's kind of lame. But Tony Pollard, let's talk about it, right? Little old, kind of a gross trade target for a team that would be run needy. I mean, the only reason why I'm throwing this one in there is because I've heard that my team is interested, and I'm interested to kind of see if there's anybody else that you guys think would maybe fit better for Tony Pollard. So, with that being said, I'm just going to throw the trade offer from Chicago out there and be like, all right, Tennessee, you're probably going to want to scrape up as much draft capital as you can for your young quarterback and kind of build around him. I'm not going to give you too much. Say Tony Pollard for a fifth, maybe, just because of his age. And, given the fact he did just come off of one of his best, if not the best career season with Tennessee in his first year. So, that will not go unrecognized in any trade discussion. But please understand, I understand that there are Tennessee Titans that are available that are probably more intriguing, just, spitballing here, but there are a lot of run needy teams, and Tony Pollard could be on the move and could potentially help one of those run needy teams, i.e. maybe even the Chiefs, who just lost Pacheco to a really gross injury. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the first team that comes to mind when thinking of other trade suitors. Obviously, like I said, only reason why I'm talking about this is because apparently the Bears are interested. But again, just want to kind of scratch your guys' head, see exactly, what else do you guys think? Let's get creative here.
Yeah.
I mean, who needs a volume rusher? The only one that ever comes to mind with running backs this year is Arizona, and I just don't know if they're going to be buying. His contract is kind of weird. It's got 2 years left, which no guaranteed salary in the final year, so you could cut him after this year. But yeah, I mean, older running back, I don't know. I think the Chiefs would be probably the front runners just because they need volume backs for the postseason, because they're going to be in the postseason. But I don't know. This is an interesting player.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs would be the team that you would be fighting for if we're talking about the Bears. And also, I mean, we've seen a resurgence from DeAndre Swift over the last couple of weeks at this point. Do the Bears even really need to make that trade? Because DeAndre Swift and this offensive run blocking unit has looked good. I mean, I know at times in that Ravens game it was tough to come by, but I mean, at this point, do the Bears even need to make that trade? But yeah, I think the Chiefs are probably the leader in the clubhouse when it comes to any possible running back trade, even if it's Alvin Kamara, let's say. But who knows? Matt, what's your next trade you got for us?
DJ Turner to the Colts, because I just think about how you think about Trevarius Ward and how he's been in and out of the lineup. Kenny Moore, similar. I just want to get another body in the defensive back room. I think DJ Turner would cost a lot because he's playing really good football and he's on a cheap deal for this year and next year. But he was something that immediately came to mind because I think the Cincinnati regime could make some moves like that in a lost season and then kind of figure it out and go from there. But then again, I also am pro, like, don't trade away your good players, especially on defense when you can't find them, and that they are one of those teams that should be probably hanging on to this player. But if the Colts come over the top with like a day 3 pick or a day 2 pick, round 3, I think you could absolutely entertain it because I just more bodies in a room that, like, you think about the Cardinals game where they were throwing out practice squad guys to play real deal minutes. Just getting another good player who's young and you have him for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, the other trade I had in mind for the Colts was a corner. I'll get into that player for my next, little trade here, but was a corner because they desperately need it. My concern with that is exactly what you said. Like, the Bengals have a really bad defense, and do they trade away one of their only good pieces they have on defense? It's hard for me to say yes, but again, like, if the Colts come over the top with a really good offer, I mean, you'd be dumb to at least not consider it. But yeah, I mean, that corner hole, I would be shocked if they don't at least try to make even a marginal move for like a guy on the caliber of like Michael Carter or Roger McCreary here at the deadline, just because it is just like a room full of like walking dead because the injuries that they have suffered in that room. So I definitely like the headspace that you're in on that trade. Ryan?
Yeah, check the private chat. Yeah, I don't really have too much on this one.
You're all right. Going on to the player that I almost had going to the Colts, Tyreek Woolen. He's a name that has really been floated around. I just
think he sucks, so I didn't want to trade him.
Hey, don't you talk about my GOAT like that, all right? But I mean, if you think he sucks, this is the perfect place for him to land. The Chicago Bears. Speaking of another secondary that is just cold bodies because there's just so many injuries, I feel like that is like a perfect fit just because they absolutely just need someone in that room. Ryan had thrown out earlier like Marshawn Lattimore, and I think I would like throw up and like cry in a ball if they traded for Marshawn Lattimore because he's just so bad. Not that Tyreek Woolen is necessarily much better, but I would love his fit in this Dennis Allen scheme. And I think you could probably get him for like a 5th round pick. Again, it depends on if you're getting into a bidding war with anyone. But Ryan, your thoughts on if they're able to get a Tyreek Woolen?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I'm trying to kind of stay limited here, but yeah, I'm all for it. Honestly, I don't think that he's as bad as our 5th, 6th, and 7th string, so that's cool. The Bears just signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson as well, so he's going to play the nickel until Kyler Gordon is going to be healthy. And then until then, like, obviously he's going to relearn the system pretty quick. They're saying he's going to be playing as soon as Sunday. Very quick turnaround, in my opinion. We're going to see exactly how well that goes before I think Poles makes any kind of deals. but I would like a splash, at least something minimal, because the players that were playing against Baltimore were just absolutely pitiful. And you need something to kind of bridge that gap if you're trying to do something with this first season. Given the fact that it's Caleb's second year, you know what I mean? This is your window to kind of make any kind of, I guess, building blocks. You know what I mean? That's the most important term that I would probably use. You're trying to build on this season, not necessarily win it all. That's unrealistic. But if you can make it as like the last wild card team, that's really, really good for this team, especially for Caleb's development. And with a defense that's not really producing all that much, and, you know, Caleb and the offense that also isn't really capitalizing on the opportunities given to them. If you can improve on the defensive end, it's going to keep you a lot, you know, or keep you in a lot of games. And if Woolen is going to be able to contribute to that, then I'm all for it. But we'll see, I guess. You know, what was the trade compensation that you had given? I'm a little distracted over here. So
a fifth round pick that could turn into a fourth round pick, depending on incentives, playing time, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm cool with some kind of agreement like that for sure. Playing time or certain milestone, something like that. You know what I mean? If he can contribute to the turnovers. I, for one, don't think, you know, as much as I just said that the secondary was a problem, I don't think that it's as much of a problem as pass rushing. So if, you know, we're going to get some kind of improvement on the defensive end, it needs to be getting to the quarterback a little bit better, because Lord knows that the secondary and the linebacker core is making enough movement for, you know, the turnovers to happen. But what's disgusting is the fact that you're letting up like some of the most yards per play. And it's really weird to do that. But, you know, you need to get to the quarterback. And I want to say Sweat is doing a really good job of like getting there, but you need somebody to kind of bridge that gap on the other side. And they paid somebody young to do that, and it's not really working out. So, you know, I'm curious to see if they do anything there, but yeah, Ben, I think you're muted, buddy. But
yeah. They paid an old guy to get after the quarterback too, and that's not working really well either, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's
Matt.
been injured.
Matt was a huge Grady Jarrett fan.
He's been injured. Yeah, it's a bad contract. I think everybody knows that. But yeah, he's been injured too. It's not great what he's been able to do. But yeah, I don't know. As far as help on my team, I rattled on way too much. But yeah, I think that, you know, Woolen could. Anything helps at this point. That's what I should have just kept it at. But anything helps.
Yeah. Their front four is miserable. I hate them. Just because of how they. I get the free agency idea is like, oh well, you know, those guys are going to cost extra just because they're hitting an open market, but still you're paying bad players. For the Bears specifically, I didn't have anything on mine because again, I don't know. I'm not in the business of giving up picks with this team, because you think about the cheap good players on this contract or on this team right now contracted. Like Dexter's coming up very, very soon, if not next season. And then you're getting into, I mean, Caleb Williams, the quarterback, and Rome Odunze. Like that's really it with the cheap, like, actual hits on this team. So I want as many picks as I can to hit on players. And if, again, Tariq Woolen just does not change my trajectory to me at all. So, yeah. And then I'll hit my last one. You hit on the other Miami edge rusher. I'll hit on the good one. Jalen Phillips going to the Chiefs would be a nightmare for everybody, because I think that would allow them to find, like, rush 4. It would allow them to get more creative with simulated pressures. It would just allow them to do so much more, having a front 4 consist of Phillips and Karlaftis and Chris Jones set up with one-on-ones. Like that would be the one that you kind of push the chips in the middle of the table, saying we're going for it again. And I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't know how
No.
expensive that player would be because
I think
he's a
he
really,
probably
really good
goes for
player.
a third-round pick. I think he probably goes for a third-round pick. Like, I think
That
he,
still
he's
feels
a good.
so low,
I
right?
know. I think third-round pick is like minimum for him because
Because
he's
I'm
a
putting it
young,
into last
good
year's terms.
player.
I'm putting like you think
Yeah.
like Lattimore is going for a third, and
We
that
all said
was
that was
kind.
an awful trade at the time, though.
But it was also because New Orleans is taking on the dead salary, so you need to bump it up around. So
Yeah.
that, but like you think about Phillips, like Phillips is not on a detrimental contract. He's still a young ascending player. The only thing that you're worrying about is health. Well, he's healthy now, so it's just I think this is a player that like a few years ago, Chubb in this same exact position was traded to the Dolphins for a first. So I don't know what he goes for. That's why it's hard to kind of put into, do the trade talkings because like you could convince me he needs to go to the Chiefs for their first round pick because someone else is willing to give up a second and a fourth. Like that's how good this player is and how he puts you above and beyond. Like I just
Yes,
it's weird.
Yeah. No, I agree. It makes me. It would make me get another one of those trades. It'd make me get sick if it happened because I want him so bad for the Eagles. Like that's a guy that like if I don't think it's gonna happen. I've said that for the last month now at this point with this player specifically. But yeah, I mean, it would be game changing on that defense because again, it allows you to be multiple in the back end of that defense now, not have to worry about sending as many blitzes as what they do. And yeah, it just at that point, it's what does he go for? Because Lord knows what he goes for. I got one more trade for you guys, and then I have 4 guys I want to talk about, and then we'll wrap it up because we've spent a long time on this segment. Finally, the last one I want to talk about is David Njoku getting traded to the Broncos for a 4th-round pick. Sean Payton finally gets the tight end that he was hoping that he was going to get for Evan Ingram. He's on the last year of his deal. Do the Browns even re-sign him at this point with how well Fannin has looked? Woof, that was a miss for the two of us, that's for sure. But then this just gives Bo Nix another pass catcher that they desperately need, not quite at the wide receiver position that we had talked about early on in this segment with Rashid Shaheed, but still a good pass catcher and a tight end that Sean Payton can use because we know how much he loves those tight ends. I don't know if a 4th is what he'd be moved for. I think that seems like fair value, again, considering the injury history and kind of the fact he's on the last year of his contract. But I don't know how you guys think about that one.
I could see it just because, getting something for someone you're not going to pay. But then for, Cleveland, I think you're taking away one of the better pass catchers in the entire, room. So it's tough to justify it, but a 4th-round pick is what it is. And then for Denver, I mean, you're clogging the room with more pass catchers. I at this point, I don't know. Evan Ingram just did not translate the way I thought he was going to translate. With the way when they traded Vele, I was like, oh, he's just going to shift into the Vele role, like he's going to be their dirty work big slot guy, and he just hasn't at all. Like they've still used him as a pretty traditional tight end, and it hasn't gone well for a guy who is built like a big slot playing traditional tight end.
Yeah, it's been rough, that's for sure. And then I'm going to give you guys 3 names. I'm going to force you guys to talk about at least. Yeah, go for it.
Let me comment on Njoku. There's a division rival that I think would really be awesome for Njoku if they could trade, and the Chargers. That's who I'd like to throw in the ring here. For
this is
Njoku.
Gadsden Eraser.
Gadsden,
Whoa. This is what are we doing?
I'd like it. I'd like it a lot. Just saying. But yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah. What's your players? I guess for
So 3 players that I think we're probably all in agreement that probably will not get traded. But there are names that are getting floated around by mainly one reporter, but still names that are getting floated around. I'm going to lay all four out to you guys, and you guys let me know which one you think is most likely to get moved. Again, under the pretense that probably none of them do end up getting moved. Those four players are Breece Hall, Trey Hendrickson, Quinnen Williams, and one Brian Thomas Jr. Of those four players, which player do you guys think will or has the highest likely chance of getting traded at the trade deadline this time next week?
Breece Hall.
Whoa, quick! Everyone was quick with it. I expected Trey to have a little bit of something there. You know, if you can get something for Trey, but that goes back to, like, do you get rid of Breece? Like, I understand where the Jets are, but do you get rid of Breece because he brings so much to that offense? And where do you kind of plug that hole? But at that point, I mean, you fully are selling on the season.
Can I add another name as well?
Go ahead.
That Quinnen Williams, does he get moved?
That's what I said.
You said Quinnen Williams as well? I apologize.
I said
for whatever
Breece,
reason,
Quinnen, Trey, and Brian Thomas Jr.
For whatever reason, I only heard Trey and Brian Thomas. I must have lagged out a little bit. I apologize. Yeah, Quinnen Williams is an interesting one as well. Just because he is disgruntled, and it sucks because he's a really good player too. And like, I think probably one of the most underrated players because he's just buried underneath a bad team. Like, if he gets a change of scenery somewhere, they're getting a great player. But yeah, I think Breece. I mean, honestly, I think both of them can go, but most likely Breece. I think that there could be a fire sale in New York, and ultimately Breece is going to. I mean, you already signed Quinnen to the deal. That's the big thing, right? And Breece has an upcoming contract extension. He's going to get a bag, and I don't see New York paying him with the direction that they're headed. This is very clearly a rebuilding team, a number one overall pick contending team, with no sense of direction at the quarterback position. I think that, Breece is going to land them something that they could build on in the event that they do get a top 3 pick, to kind of, jumpstart this rebuild. It seems like they've been building for the last 10 years, but that's regardless. But I'm going with Breece. There's too many run needy teams, i.e. the Chiefs, like you just said. That would be crazy if he could find his way over there. But I mean, and rumor has it, and this infuriated me, by the way, this made headlines today, that the Patriots are looking for running back help. Which is just infuriating, understanding that they drafted one in the second round. That would have been awesome, but I digress.
He fumbles the ball too much. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, Matt, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
I want to know, did I cover it all, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely not paying Breece if I'm the Jets, so I would trade him now. I wouldn't even try and risk the comp formula. I would just trade for what I can get right this very second and see what you got in Isaiah Davis. And maybe once Braylon Allen comes back, you can volume load him. But yeah, this is a player that, you said it, has no real future on this team as of this moment. You already paid all the guys you wanted to pay, Quinnen Williams being one of them. Sauce and Garrett Wilson being the others. So he's just the odd man out, and he's been the odd man out for 3 months. And so, yeah, I would make that move pretty easily if there is a buyer at a good price.
Yes, absolutely. Last thing, I just want to fantasize because we brought him up here. Gosh, Jordan Davis in a first-round pick for Quinnen Williams? Signed, sealed, delivered. Give it to me. Best pass rushing interior in the NFL. Anyways, that's not the issue. Mario Jamo has been fantastic. Interior's not been the issue. Edge has, but again, don't want to take over the show. Talk about my birds. But hey, any final thoughts before we talk to the people.
This is fan fiction. I think that it's reasonable. Matt, let me ask you this. Oh, okay. I'll just ask you guys. So, and then hopefully we'll come back to me. Is there a player that has been rumored that your team is either interested in or interested in dealing that you could piece together a dream trade for? So, for example, Matt, you're more than likely
Cesar
going
Ruiz
to be
to the Seahawks for literally anything.
Let's. Is Cesar? Is he like actually being mentioned in trade talks right now? I haven't read anything on that.
I hope
Okay.
someone's buying.
So here's, yeah. Let me ask you this.
I mean,
again.
Seahawks
Okay.
need interior depth.
Exactly.
So
They somehow
give
have
me-
the worst guard. Like they have the worst guard in football, and Cesar Ruiz is on my football team. Clint Kubiak
Matt-
worked with the Saints last year. Just saying.
Huh?
I wanna start with you, Matt. Give me one of the big name players from the Saints that have been talked about recently, and then from your football fan brain, where would you want to send that player if you're trading him, and what would you want in return?
DeMario Davis to the San Francisco 49ers, just for that arc of him going to a pretty attacking downhill defense. He gets to step in and immediately replace Fred Warner, who's one of my favorite players. And I think it just continues down the line of San Francisco being able to piece together a defense. They need a guy in the middle of the defense that can kind of communicate everything. DeMario comes from that line, the solid line with Staley, who had worked with, Shanahan last year. So I think there's too many parallels there with those two, that match being made.
What would you like in return for DeMario Davis then? What's your asking price?
I mean, a day 3 pick. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say too much.
He's old.
Like, I mean, he's gonna be 37 in 2 months, I think. So, and he's got a weird little like cap hit coming up. So, yeah, I mean, something very small, very minuscule. If the Niners are saying, hey, can we get 8 games out of him while we see if we can make the postseason? Yeah, I think that's fine value.
Ben, let's get it out of the way. Who are you trading AJ Brown to? I'm just kidding. No. So anybody out there, because Eagles are most likely buyers given the fact that they're defending Super Bowl champions. Don't roll your eyes. You're like, yeah, whatever. It's no big deal. Who do you want your team to get if they're able to get anybody? And then what would you send for that player?
Yeah, Jalen Phillips. A second and a fourth for Jalen Phillips. Like, I would simply just die to have Jalen Phillips on my football team. That's really like the one like really sore spot that this team is really lacking. A lot of it has to do with the fact that Nolan's hurt. He'll hopefully come back next week off the bye. But that's regardless. Jalen Phillips would just do so much to this defense. And again, a second and fourth, I think is, as we just discussed with him earlier, I think is probably what the asking price is going to be close to be for a player of his caliber.
It's a shame you guys already figured it out. I mean, Brandon Graham's back. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Stop. So I didn't talk about that for a reason. Let the man retire in peace.
It's a shame.
I can't believe that. Brandon Graham is one of my favorite Philadelphia Eagles of all time, and we have to disturb his retirement because of this. He walked off into the sunset as a Super Bowl champion, and now he's back.
When you need somebody to edge set, Ben, you find the guy who edge sets. All right.
I'm so upset. I love Brandon Graham, and I can't believe again we pulled him out of retirement for this. But no, Jalen Phillips, second and fourth. But Ryan, who's your player that you want, and what is the capital you're giving up for him?
So apparently multiple have reached out to the Browns for Denzel Ward. Did I lag out there? Did you guys hear that one?
Yeah, we heard it.
I lagged
Denzel
out, didn't
Ward.
I? Okay, Denzel Ward. That's my dream, because it's like if you guys have been listening for the last year and a half,
Whoa.
window
Whoa.
bought his jersey last summer.
Whoa. Pump the brakes.
Haven't even opened up the jersey out of the package.
Wait.
So-
Hold on. Pump the brakes there, pal.
I'm not trading Tyreek Stevenson. That's not where I was going with that.
Yeah.
But what?
You cut out. We saw that you were talking, but then we couldn't hear any words that you were saying. For the last year and a half, what?
For the last year and a half, I hate Tyreek Stevenson. I haven't even taken out the jersey out of the package. So I want Denzel Ward on my team. He'd be on there for the next 2 years. I know he's a little pricey given the fact that they've restructured his deal a couple times, but screw it. I'll give you up to like a 3rd round pick comfortably, and I'd consider a 2nd.
I think it would be a 2nd if you're trading for Denzel Ward.
Yeah, I'm just saying comfortably. I'd be like, yeah, all right, sweet. But like, I'd consider a 2nd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
That'd be
No,
so
this
cool.
segment. There you go. This segment took like 45 minutes. Here we are. But again, this time next week, we will have all the big names and the big trades that had went down. We'll cover that, but we got the rest of the podcast to kind of speed through at this point. Matt, take it away. Thursday Night Football.
Yes, Thursday night football. The Ravens travel to Miami to face the Dolphins. The Ravens are getting Lamar Jackson back. Both of these teams are coming off major victories. One against the Bears and one against the Falcons. Again, this is a game that's, you remember a few years ago when this game happened and Lamar was like MVP front runner or something, and then the Dolphins just like kind of clowned on him with cover 0, like where they just ran mid blitz every single play, and he didn't know how to attack the blitz. Now he does. He's back. Overall, what I saw from the Ravens against the Bears specifically on defense makes me believe the way why they made the trade with Odafe Oweh to get Alohi Gilman is to have more bodies in the secondary, to let them have Kyle Hamilton be like a rover player. And it just makes them so flexible on the back end. And they run a crazy amount of cover 1 in that game. And I think they have good enough corners to beat you up. And then on the Dolphins side, like the Dolphins didn't do anything particularly different against the Falcons. They just ran an at you run scheme, and the Falcons couldn't do anything about it. So I think that's going to be the Falcons' downfall this year, is they can't really stop the run no matter who it is. And so who's the best at you running back in football? It's Derrick Henry. So we'll see how that goes with that team. And then like we talk about the Dolphins, are they even going to make any moves or deals? They have extra time, right? They're gonna have the whole weekend to mull it over. This is kind of the last stand, I think, for the team. But what are your thoughts on this one?
I think the big thing is can both teams build off of what we had seen them last week? Again, the Dolphins kind of came out of nowhere and they're like, no, wait, we're not done yet. And then the Ravens, like, they won a game that not many people expected them to win when we figured out Lamar Jackson wasn't playing in this game. But they won, and they looked good on the back end of that defense, and that's the first time we've been able to say that all season long. So can they build off of that, and can the Dolphins kind of take advantage of that Matabuke-sized hole in the defensive line and see if they can do a little something with Devon Achane, because that was kind of the big key to their success against the Falcons last week. And can they get this guy going? Can Lamar Jackson pick up where we hope he can? I mean, he practiced last week. They sat him out for a reason so he could be fully healthy this week. Let's see if Lamar Jackson and Action Jackson can look like the guy that we're so used to him looking like. But Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, Dolphins, massive surprise. But outside of that, the Ravens are going to run away with this one. The -7.5 spread is gross just because it's not a football number, and I hate the over under for the total points as well, just because I don't think the Dolphins are going to be able to score. I mean, I can't give them the benefit of the
Smash
doubt
the
right
under.
now. I don't like it though. That's the thing. Because what if I'm wrong? Like, you know what I mean?
You just
So
Well, yeah.
described gambling.
yeah. But anyways, yeah. No, I just yeah. I mean, I don't like it. I don't know. It's just an ugly game. I truly think that there's a massive chance that you'll see just Derrick Henry run it up, like they should have last week. But with Lamar, it adds a completely different factor to it. So I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
Does anybody have a prop on this one?
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely
last
got a
week,
preference with-
I'll sorry guys, sorry everybody. I lost.
What was that?
So Grenard and Khalil Mack get a sack, and then I have Quentin Johnston to get a reception over 20 yards. Just didn't register a target. Lad McConkey had a
Disappeared. He was
30-yard
gone.
gain, and Gadsden had a 30-yard gain. Like, what are we doing, man? That was terrible. Quentin Johnston back to being a decoy, I guess. He's so good. But yeah, my bad, everybody. But does anybody have a side on this one?
Yeah.
Derrick
What was
Henry,
that,
75
Matt?
plus.
Unbelievable.
Can we do that? 75
Yeah.
plus rushing yards.
Why not? I mean, I'll
like that.
continue with the Ravens run game here. And I'm going to go with Mr. Lamar Jackson, again, picking up right where he left off with the anytime touchdown score at plus 160 for him.
Wait, you said what? You said a touchdown?
Yeah, Lamar anytime.
I had to throw in here. What was it? It's on FanDuel. Tua to have the most passing yards is plus 116. So again, it's kind of speaking to the. I think they're gonna have to throw a lot because they're gonna be down a whole lot. And if you want me to add something that you could put a part of the parlay, I agree with Ryan. I would take the 7.5. I would lay the points in this one more so. This is the first time we're seeing the Ravens kind of with this full scale team back, and the last time they were that was you kind of think back to like week 1, maybe the Lions game. They were kind of fully healthy, but still, the Ravens I think they are the much better team in this one, so backing them to cover the 8 points. But we move on into
really-
the Sunday.
Really quickly. Hate to break it to you, Ryan. At least on FanDuel, you do not have the option to do plus 75. You have the option to do 70, and you have the option to do 80. Which one would you rather take?
Dang it! What's the better odds? I don't know. Probably 80.
Well,
But,
I mean,
what are the
80
odds?
obviously has the better odds. 80 is minus 178. 70 is minus 280.
Take 80 as a parlay builder. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's gross.
Yeah, well, we'll do 80. So if you do Ravens, so this is an all Ravens parlay. Promise we didn't mean it to be that way. But if you did the Ravens to cover the 7.5 spread, Derrick Henry to go over 80 rushing yards and a Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown score, that brings you out to plus 456. Bet $10, you win 55.
Yeah, also, I feel good about backing the Ravens in this one after last week because the Chargers broke the trend of like the underdog covering because they just killed the Vikings the same way the Vikings killed Carson Wentz. So so that was a good swing in the chalk direction because I think a lot of people are going to be on the Ravens in this one with Lamar coming back. But we move on to the Sunday preview. Only 2 games of the week this week, and then we'll pick some games. Hopefully, just an AFC week. We're talking Broncos. We're talking Texans. Again, similar to the Ravens and Dolphins. both of these two teams had their best offensive performances this past weekend, and now they're facing each other, in which they are both the highest ranked defenses. So interesting to see how that goes. But mostly getting into the matchup, I'm really interested in the matchup between how the Broncos just generate pressure against this bad offensive line. I don't think the offensive line got better in the last 2 weeks. I just think the Niners are in just such a flux of defensive line talent, and they're just trying to get all their young guys there that they're not there yet. Where the Broncos know exactly what they are. They like to throw 6 on the line of scrimmage and only rush 4. And, Hufanga will come from the slot, things like that. So they just stress your offensive line rules, and think about what the Seahawks did to this Texans team a few weeks ago. They ran away with it. So I'm interested to see how the Broncos kind of attack those offensive line rules in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the flip side of that, right? The Broncos offenses versus the Vikings. The Broncos offense versus the Texans defense. The last 5 quarters for the Broncos offense has been fantastic. Can they continue that against what is going to be a very, very good defense in the Texans? Again, kind of the big thing that had stood out to me in that game last week against the Cowboys for the Broncos was we saw a heavy utilization, obviously, between both backs, but then with Troy Franklin, there were way too many times where I looked up at my field and I'm like, oh, Troy Franklin's actually doing something. And can they kind of utilize him? Because obviously a majority of that coverage goes towards Courtland Sutton. So can they find another guy outside of Courtland Sutton, whether that's Troy Franklin or someone else, to kind of stress this Texans defense just a little bit? But that's kind of the matchup I am looking at outside of the offensive line that you had mentioned.
Yeah, Franklin might genuinely be their second best pass catcher. He's taking a leap, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, you guys nailed it. I mean, this is the game that I had chosen this week. Just because of the defensive matchup. That's really it. That's why the over-under's at 39.5. I do expect that over to be hit. I just think that both of these teams are capable of scoring those points. And overall too, I don't know if my jury's out on Bo Nix or what's going on with that. But it's kind of a bumpy ride this season compared to last, in my opinion. And with that being said, these are 2 quarterbacks that aren't necessarily meeting their expectations for the season regarding whether or not, Bo Nix is a sophomore quarterback or not. You know what I mean? CJ was once thought of as a elite quarterback, and Bo was on the route to be one, right? So with that being said, with the Texans defense being so good, I'm looking forward to seeing, how they scheme up against Bo Nix and what they can do to kind of generate pressure, because the more that I'm seeing Bo Nix under pressure, the more I'm starting to see him panic and, kind of make those dumb plays.
He's one of the worst quarterbacks against pressure. So, yeah. Since he entered the league. So,
yep. And then, with CJ as well, how can he capitalize on Pat Surtain hitting the IR? You know what I mean? Is that something that the Texans can act on?
Jalen Noel, baby.
Well, we don't know right now what the injury status officially is on Nico Collins. He is still questionable. It has kind of changed to
He's just got to clear that concussion protocol. So,
Yeah, it has changed to hopeful. There was a report saying that there are signs trending that he will be able to clear that tomorrow. And I think that's going to be a big factor because of the Pat Surtain that Matt had mentioned, or that Ryan had mentioned, and we'll see if they can take advantage of that.
Yeah. Last thing before we hit on it, we just didn't Will Anderson is playing insane this year. He's been phenomenal, man.
If only 2 guys would have told you that.
It's just one of those. I saw Aiden Hutchinson get $45 million a year. That's where I'm Will Anderson is a better player than him. So I'm interested to see what that looks like for the Texans side, because they're going to have to make a decision on both C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson relatively soon after or before each other. So, but Broncos-Texans, we'll pick it later. And then we get into the big one, the Chiefs and the Bills once again playing in early November when it's kind of chilly outside in Buffalo, but it's not really a factor. This happened last year with the Chiefs went in undefeated and the Bills knocked them off, and then they played again in the postseason and the Chiefs beat them. So again, this is kind of one of those games that over the past few years has dictated who the 1 seed is. Too bad the Colts are happening this year, so the Colts already have the 1 seed wrapped up. I'm calling it. But this one, like the Chiefs 5-3, the Bills 5-2. One of these two teams is going to kind of fall behind the other in the pecking order of the conference. So again, this is one of those games that it's going to be fun on the field, and then take into account that the result does matter in terms of home field advantage later. So. Does anyone have something to hit on right away?
Yes. Yeah. Well, first, before I get into that, Ryan, did you know, Ryan, that the Chiefs beat the Bills in the playoffs? I didn't know if you knew that or anything. That being said, I think that,
if we weren't live right now.
I mean,
I
Ben,
think he
which
thinks
time?
professional and light here.
Is it
okay?
this year or
It's
the year
PG.
before?
Oh gosh. Oh wait. Anyways,
That's
I
it.
think the key.
I'm just kidding.
I think the key to success here for either team stems down to specifically the run game. It's run game, and which team can dominate the run game. Because we saw the great success that the Bills had against, at the time, what was the number 1 ranked run defense in the Panthers. And then James Cook turned around and put, 200 plus yards on that. Vice versa, we finally are seeing the Chiefs run offense get a hold of it and gather bearings a little bit. And can they take advantage of this awful run defense by the Bills? Oh, and not to mention Ed Oliver's out for the season because he has a torn pectoral muscle. So that's not going to help anything. And I think this game really comes down to the run game and who can get that going, which is ironic when you're considering it's Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. But I think a lot of it, again, stems from who can get this run game going first.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the tale of the two teams meeting once again, right? I'm obviously going to be watching this one. I'm really excited about this one, as always. And it's a battle every single time. I expect it to be the over-under set up. I mean, exactly where it needs to be as well. Very, very excited. -1.5 for the Chiefs. That's a gross line, isn't it? But I mean, regardless.
Right. Yeah.
1.5 is just such a weird one because it's not a football number. You know what I'm saying? That's again.
Yeah.
But for the Chiefs, they've been playing really good football lately. Outside of obviously the Mahomes errors in the first half of Monday Night Football, and then the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're kind of playing down to their opponent a little bit and not really playing the level of football that they absolutely can with this roster. And with that, it's kind of getting a little frustrating with the Bills, understanding that you're playing with the MVP from last season and it's not really showing as much as it did just last season as well. It's kind of gross. James Cook started a little hot and then it's like he cooled down. You're not really hearing too much for James Cook as of recent weeks. Am
I getting punked?
What?
He said 200 yards, dude.
Did he? Did I just miss that?
Yeah,
Did I miss that?
Like 200.
I haven't heard
like
anything.
Touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns and like 216 yards against the Panthers.
216. Okay, all right. Outside of 1 week. All right. Hold on a minute. Checking the 2 games before that, not great. Not great.
Yeah, they really took him out of the game against Atlanta, which they should not have. But yeah,
He played Carolina, guys. Come on. Yes,
They were the number
216
one
yards
run
and 2
defense
touchdowns.
going into that game.
No, they were. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
But- Anywho, yeah, no, it's fine. We're fine. There were 2 weeks in the season where he didn't play well. Okay, not living up to expectations. Screw you, D-bag. Anyways, yeah. So, nah, it's fine. There are just moments in which that's exactly my point. Is that there's flashes of a really good Bills team. And then there's flashes of a Bills team that's not meeting expectations. I understand I missed and swung and missed bad. But yeah, but it's like, if you're going to beat this Chiefs team, especially right now, I mean, the weapons that they have on offense right now. And I'm expecting a decent performance from Kareem Hunt as well. The dude is an angry runner. So, I'm really looking forward to that from the Chiefs side. I just want impartial officiating on this one, please. That's all I ask for. And because the thing is like every single game these two teams play, they're so good, but I feel like there's always some kind of talking point, whether it's online or whether it's brought up by me, because I am, bad about it. But like, I just want one game as of recent history to where it's not ruined by something like that. Just let us have good football here. And these two teams are perfectly capable of doing that without any help from the official or officiating. So that's all I'm really asking for. It's football heaven every time these two teams play. That's it. So
yeah, this is kind of the game to decide if the Bills need to make a move for like Shaheed or something to get explosive downfield, because I think there's an opportunity to be explosive in this game, and letting the run game kind of, we talked about it, they're number 2 in rush EPA this year, and they're top 5 in success rate, and the Chiefs defense has been getting better in that, but they're still bottom 10 at both of those. So there's still an extremely gettable run defense. You can set up stuff off of that, and that's how they like to play, and you're playing at home in front of a ruckus crowd. Too bad nobody in the world is going to be watching this because Tyler Shuck is making his debut. So shame for the NFL, but Saints run the league, so it happens. But now we get into the pick'em portion of the show, and Ryan, tell the great people the records from this past week and overall. Ben, stop, dude.
Whatever that
11
is.
and 2.
Yeah, don't do
what
that
were the 2
anymore.
you missed?
That's a
It was
great
crazy.
question.
I have
You don't track? I was.
I deleted it going into this week. If you would have asked me 2 hours ago, I would have told you.
Ben picked, just like all of us did, the Falcons and the Bengals to win.
Yeah.
So
you won all the swing game. That's nuts.
Everything else he hit. Crazy. So yeah, Ben started. I mean, it just absolutely just went on a tear. 11-2 for the guy. Clap it up for the guy. Matt, 8-5, decent week, above 500.
Not good enough.
And then I went 7-6. Dude, what the heck? Like, I can't catch break. Overall, we've got Ben at 85, 35, and 1. Matt at 76, 44, and 1. And then I am at 68, 52, and 1.
We're officially at panic mode. 9 games back. Dude, I'm going to have to swing some of these games, huh?
Dude, I'm 17 games back. What are we talking about? Ben needs to just say screw it at this point.
I'll bet first. I'll do my pick first every game if you guys would like.
No.
On bye this week, we have the Browns, Jets, Eagles, and Buccaneers. So without further ado, Thursday Night Football, Ravens at Dolphins. Gentlemen,
Ravens.
Ben, I guess we'll start with you. Yeah. Okay.
Ravens!
Yeah. All
We're doing
right.
it again,
Vikings.
folks. Have we
at
gone against
Lions.
each other on TNF yet? I don't think so.
I'll fact check it. Yeah.
Do you wanna go against me here and pick the Dolphins? Fine by me.
Okay. Vikings
Kinda.
at Lions.
Kinda.
JJ McCarthy? Question mark. full
He is
participant in
playing.
practice today?
He is playing. Yeah, they sacrificed Carson Wentz to the Chargers last week. That was interesting. Do you think they're a Rattler destination? I saw that today. I was like,
Maybe. Actually, possibly. That being said, like, I don't want this to go overlooked. Vikings, for 2 weeks throughout the corpse of Carson Wentz, like, every single person on planet Earth knew that, like, he needed surgery, he needed to be out, he was hurt, and they were like, no. You're going to go out there, Carson Wentz, and you're going to like it, and you're going to suck it up until J.J. McCarthy. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, that's
he's a warrior.
Put Max Brusner in. We like that. We're pro Max Brusner podcast.
Okay. Yeah, but, like, has KOC ever done that? Like, he always throws out, like, these proven starters, but, like, guys who have started in the NFL. Remember when Nick Mullins threw for 400 yards? All right, I'm picking Lions.
Yes, I'm picking Lions.
Against the Lions, Nick Mullins threw for... I'm thinking.
Vikings are looking to trade for a veteran quarterback because the guy that they picked in the first round in 2024 is garbage.
Well, because they don't have a backup. Okay, don't be facetious.
No, they're trash, and they're gonna pick up Kirk Cousins and make the playoffs again.
2-game sample size on the McCarthy thing. Is it the Michigan thing of it all? Is that the hate agenda?
We don't have time for this. We're an hour and 20 in. Panthers, Packers. This one, for whatever reason, I feel like in recent history is always really close. But guys, does that sway your opinion any? Or
no? I'll go first because I'll let Matt see if he wants to pick against me. I'm picking his beloved Packers. We know Matt loves to pick the Panthers in games against good teams, i.e., last week. Matt, will you do it again?
No, they're not at home. And this is the Packers Super Bowl, all right? They're going to be sporting the beautiful 1923 throwback classics. Romeo Dobbs already has the fake leather Guardian cap on. Are you kidding me? We are so back. We're taking alt spreads all the way up to 4 touchdowns. This is a 13-point spread. We're taking it up to 28. All right, this is the Packers Super Bowl. This is the dominant game that they have. They figure it out, and because they look fly. All right, this might be a shutout. It might be 50-0, guys. It genuinely might be.
Fly is not the word I would use to describe.
They are
beautiful.
Incredible.
They're gross.
They're so beautiful.
As in, somebody needs to crumple these up.
They're so good.
And let them fly into the garbage can.
Okay. Would we rather have the Steelers uniforms that made Aaron Rodgers look literal 60 years old on
What
that
if we
field?
just
both
What
bad.
if hey, wait a minute. What year are these from? What year are the uniforms
1923.
from? Leave them there.
1923.
Leave them there. Those things should never have come back. They're so gross, and Illinois did it better. I'm going the Packers.
That doesn't
as
make
well.
any sense. How can Illinois do them better?
You fell for the rage bait. Come on, I had to. It's literally copy and paste the same jersey, like
copy pasta. No, but these ones they're different.
No, they're not. Again, they're awful. Oh my gosh, they're the second worst jersey in the NFL, only behind those Steelers uniforms. Which is,
I think it's a tie. I think they're both hideous. Chargers, Titans. Anybody going Titans?
Enjoy a
Chargers
throwback. Oh my god. Yeah, give me the Chargers.
Guys,
Titans fans were asking this week if they could fire their interim coach. Nobody's ever done that before. So that's the state of Tennessee.
I'm also going Chargers. Falcons and Patriots.
Yeah, I'm never picking against Drake May again.
Yeah, no, not happening.
Awesome. So we're just not disagreeing this week. 49ers, Giants without Scadaboo. Tyrone Tracy legacy game? Some are saying.
Boiler up. Yeah, take the Giants.
Niners. Oh!
Yeah, I'm also going 49ers here.
It's a long travel. long traveled.
Hey,
Body
completely
clock, man.
unrelated, and I should probably say this behind the scenes, but I have CMC in our league, boys. Hit me up. Colts, Steelers.
Which one?
The redraft league, not the dynasty league that nobody cares about.
Wait, go again.
Colts.
Colts, Steelers.
Colts. Come on. The Colts might score 52.
Dude,
They'll
I don't
score
know.
52.
50
I'm going
also,
with
not
my-
52 points.
I'm going
No,
with my
they're
gut here. I'm
score
gonna go
52
Steelers here.
points.
I don't know
Ew.
why I'm
See,
getting a
pro Aaron Rodgers. I've tried to tell you guys the entire year. Ryan loves Aaron Rodgers.
Sorry.
No one wanted to listen to me. He can
Nobody
deny it all
wanted
he
to.
wants, but he keeps picking Aaron Rodgers. He loves
Keeps
it.
doing it.
I don't know
Guess
why I've got a
America's
gut
team.
feeling about that one, but yeah. Broncos, Texans.
Give me Broncos.
Give me the Texans.
I'm going Texans.
This
Jaguars,
is
Raiders.
the only way to get Ben.
Oh, wait.
His love for the Texans. You got to pick against it. This team still is bad.
This team is so bad, but I can't.
You
I
can't
love
quit
that
him.
defense.
I feel like you picked him
can't-
every week.
All
right, fine, you convinced me. Broncos country, let's ride. Let's do it. Jaguars, Raiders.
Do I have to?
Did you skip the Bears game?
Did I? I guess so. Yeah, we'll circle back to it. Jaguars, Raiders.
Crosby's not practicing. I really want to take the Raiders because there's no way Ben takes the Raiders.
Right? I kind of really want to take the Raiders too. I'm not going to. I'm gonna take the Jags, but like.
All right,
I
I'm gonna take the
really wanna
Raiders.
the Raiders. Ain't no Connell time. Hey, they opened up his practice window.
Wait,
Short
Ben.
leash for
You
Is
got
Is that
Jags?
real?
Is that what you said? Ben, you got
Jags,
Jags?
yeah.
All right, I'm also taking the Jaguars. Saints, Rams. I think we're all.
Dude, they
fair.
might lose by more than the Packers beat the Panthers.
Oh, let me go back really quick and correct myself here. The last noon game was Broncos Texans, so Bears Bengals. What do you guys got?
Give me the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys suck.
I just
'Cause I
think,
wanna
I
pick
think the
against
Bengals
you.
defense is that bad, dude.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all right. I'll go Bears.
Yes,
yeah,
we're
all right.
all on the Bears. You said before the season they were definitely going to win this game, and that was with Burrow healthy. You cannot fold now. You
Yeah,
literally
but my
cannot fold.
secondary wasn't decimated by then.
You
Like,
cannot fold now.
dude, we might have like Nick McLeod on on Jamar Chase. Like,
Valid.
what are we
Yes.
doing? No.
Also, Jamar Chase is the first receiver since Michael Thomas to have 38 catches in a 3-game span. Jamar Chase had 54 targets in that span. Michael Thomas had 40. Don't erase Michael Thomas's legacy, everybody.
Chiefs, Bills.
Whatever
have to
Ben
pick
picks, I'm picking opposite. Whatever you pick, I'm picking opposite. I have to figure a way.
Oh, I don't want to.
It's such a good strategy.
Go with your
I
gut.
know. My gut's not telling me anything. My gut's saying this ends in a tie.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that. We'll count it as a correct
No.
pick.
Yeah, well, you better.
Instead of a tie, you just get a correct pick.
Like, give me
Fair.
the Bills. I don't feel confident.
Yeah, I didn't want to bet against Mahomes. Let's go. All right. Seahawks, Commanders.
Seahawks.
Awesome. I'm going Commanders. Didn't even have to change my pick there. Even if the Seahawks are coming off the bye. Cardinals, Cowboys.
Oh man, this is the two devils
Ben,
on
pick
your
first.
shoulder.
Yeah, right. Cowboys.
Cardinals.
Yeah. I'll go Cardinals.
You're gonna
as
win
well.
all of these swing games. All 5.
I need to
swing
win every
games.
single one of them. I need to, like, every spread that was within 3 points I picked against you, except like the Colts.
Yeah.
Because the Colts are
All
that good.
right. Pigskin payout, boys. What do we got?
Take the
All right.
Colts -3. Take the
Well,
Packers -13.5. And
Okay, woo. I
Broncos
will tell
money
you
line.
guys what I actually have here. I have Colts money line. Would you look at that? Colts money line. Patriots to cover 2.5, so to win by a field goal or more. Seahawks money line. And then I can't just, like, I have to continue to pick it. It worked well for me last time this line was at it, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to have the Saints cover a spread of 17.5. Right now it's 14.5. We bumped it up to a field goal. I'm going to have them cover the 17.5 against the Rams. Those 4 legs combined to just over 500 at plus 506. $10 will win you $60.06.
Okay. Matt, were you done with yours?
So do you? All right. Does everybody want mine?
Yes.
We're looking. We're making moves. We're making so many money moves. I'm seeing.
All right, I'll go and do my anytime touchdown one. Jahmyr Gibbs, Roma Dunze, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor.
Chalk. You're really getting in
Chalk.
the Dunze business again?
Yes.
Interesting.
He's
All right.
good.
I have
Was it
mine.
early? Never wrong. Just early. Roman dudes ain't bad. Try telling people. I'm kidding. He's bad. Try telling people. What's up, brother?
I have the Colts -3. The best team in football is facing maybe the worst defense in football. The Packers 13.5. Like I said, we're all spreading that. 13.5 free. Broncos money line. I don't know. I think this is going to be awkward anyway. I'm taking the one that's plus money. Whoever was plus money, I would probably take in this one. To be honest with you, I just like the value. And then lastly, because the odds were 666, and like that, those bad vibes. Tyler Shuck to throw a passing touchdown. We're taking it.
Yes!
He
Yes!
gets his first passing touchdown in this one as, like, it's going to be the the Ohtani Mike Trout tweet. It's like Ohtani did something since 1920, and Mike Trout hit 3 home runs, and the Angels lose 12-6. Like, that's going to be the Tyler Shuck game. He's going to be awesome, but they're going to lose by still so many points to the Rams. So
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, boys, that does it for Pigskin Payout. Any closing comments?
I said it on the college football show. It's great that you guys can see me, because how would you not like to look at this face? But in serious, I'm glad that you guys can. Isn't it? I'm glad that people that are new or just finding the channel can finally see that, like, I am a real person. I do exist.
he's been AI this whole time.
I've been AI. I mean, how could a Michigan and Philadelphia fan not be? But good to have the camera back. I'm going to continue to freaking plug it. Tuesday night, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We're going live for the first time for College Corner. College football rankings are dropping that night. So come and watch me and Matt's beautiful face react to all of those rankings and whatnot. And just another great week of football. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't have a team determining my mood. It's gonna be awkward. I haven't felt this way for 8 weeks, but here we are. Brian.
Yeah. Exciting. Good luck to everybody for the trade deadline. I hope that you get somebody that makes you excited for the rest of the season. And if not, I hope your team sells well to where you get compensation back and your team starts a rebuild that ends up very successful. Matt, I'm talking to you because the Saints need to be just as competitive as both me and Ben's, because in a perfect world, the Saints, Eagles, and Bears are at the top of the NFC.
Different tiers here, pal.
What are we talking about? Different tiers. I'm trying to be positive, man. Come on, stop pooping on my parade. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully everything goes well, and I can't wait to talk to everybody after the trade deadline next week. Tune in to College Corner. Tune in to the weekly review, because we do one every what do we put that out on? I know we
Sunday
record
night,
it,
put
but
out Monday morning.
Yeah. So yes, so props to these guys for the content as well. As always, it's been awesome on Wednesdays. For everybody watching live, thank you very much. And then to Spotify for podcasters, Region Radio Sports Network, and Uppercuts Grooming, we thank you for helping us grow as a podcast. And until next time, after the trade deadline, we will see you later.